angel, Phil. I want to feel your light.
I'll evict you before the week's out.
I've been having a series of very bad days. What if she lives another 20 years?
Do you wish death upon her?
Not tomorrow.
God, you saved my life. No. Every time I see the light, I see your face.
Just because I'm standing over you backlit. What kind of moron buys a house under such circumstances? Are you crying?
Sorry.
Hi,
There it is. Hi, Kim. Jeff in Las Vegas. Good morning.
how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for joining me today to talk about American Dreamer. It's got my sense of humor. I just thought it was wonderful. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, tell us about your character, about Maggie, and what is she up to today? And she has a suspicious nature, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's unbridled and she's wild and unpredictable and she's Astrid's daughter and she cares about her mother, and when this Phil Loader comes lurking around, she gets a little suspicious. And who doesn't want to protect their mother? So that has a road of its own that it takes with him. But, their relationship, Maggie and Phil's relationship, ends up going on a twisty road of its own.
And the premise of the movie is that, everybody wants to own their own home. It's the American dream. But Phil Loader has a lot of problems attaining that dream. So he comes up with a plan where he's going to move in with your mother, your character's mother, and take over the home someday. But there's a lot of obstacles, isn't it?
Well, yeah. And that was part of her agreement to
Right.
him. So he's not like this really, weird guy, but so he thinks that's a pretty great offer. And he has a lot of hoops to jump through to get to that goal in this movie.
Yeah, but he goes through some changes too once meeting your character's mother. Once meeting Shirley MacLaine, he becomes a different person throughout the movie, which I love that transformation of him.
Yeah, he does. He kind of touts himself as being callous and not empathetic and, no compassion and this kind of guy that whatever. And by the end of the movie, yeah, Shirley MacLaine really pulls on his heartstrings and he learns some things about himself and he questions life, kind of.
And you think the premise of this movie is outrageous, but it's based on a true story, and it happens more often than you think, I heard.
It's often. I mean, can you believe it? These stories are real. They're out there and they happen every day. Every day. We don't need to create. I mean, I don't even think you need to have an imagination, because you can just pull from what's happening in the world. But these stories are gems, because bringing this to life, it just screams comedy on the big screen.
And Peter Dinklage, one of my favorite actors, and I've interviewed him many times, going all the way back to Station Agent, which is one of my all-time favorites. Here the man can do comedy in Elf. He can do singing in Cyrano, and now his comic timing in this is so dark. I just love him in this. What was it like working with him?
He is the most compassionate, kind, giving, attentive actor. He's so thoughtful and he cares about every detail. And, when you're an actress and you're on a film set and you're surrounded by your fellow castmates that have as much love for what they do as you do, I mean, there's a sense of safety and there's a sense of love and taking chances together and, just kind of going for it. And I think we were all in it like that. It was really a beautiful experience.
One of my all-time favorite films is The Apartment with Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. I can't imagine meeting Shirley MacLaine, let alone working with her. So tell me about working with her and meeting her for the first time.
Well, thank God I got to meet her well before the movie even began. And So I wasn't invested as a character, and I didn't know I was actually going to play it at that point. So I got to meet her like just as a human being and give her kudos and talk about her work and tell her how much I loved her and like whatever. But you know, when I decided to do the role, you know, you're sitting across from a legend. You're sitting across. I grew up watching her and studying her and being mesmerized by her. And here I am sitting across from her. And as an actress, you know, you're just like, if I thought about all of that stuff while I was on set, I wouldn't have been able to act. I just wouldn't have been able to act. So we all just respectfully stayed in character, and I got the pleasure to watch her process and how she works. And I mean, it truly was, it was remarkable.
Yeah, because you have that dinner scene with her and Peter, you know, and
Yeah.
and watching throughout the film, I have to ask you, how many bottles of wine did you go through in this production? Seems like every time you turn around, Peter's opening up another bottle.
Yeah. Well, there is such thing as grape juice put in the bottle. I mean, we're not all getting sloshed. Um, you know, we have a job to do.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, that was a fun scene.
And tell me about the director's style. I just spoke to him earlier, and man, what a charming man, and seems to know his craft well. What was it like working with Paul?
He was so great because he really allowed all the actors to experience what they wanted to experience and bring to their part what they wanted to bring to their part. I mean, he collaborated, of course, but there was a lot of freedom and space and respect for that. He had so much respect for the actors and their craft that I think it just allowed all of us to rise and just really play well off each other and have a great time
So you would call him,
without being
you would call him
controlled.
an actor's director? I mean, a director for actors, would you call him?
I think so, for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'm telling you, I had such a ball with this movie, and congratulations. And star-studded, funny, dark, everything I love about movies. So congratulations, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.